up, YouTube? What up, Trench Dogs? Man, today I just want to talk a little bit, chop it up with y'all, man. Cause I've been getting a lot of comments, and I don't understand why you guys don't comment and like some of the videos and things like that. You watch it, but everything is being transferred. I'm trying to get from my Instagram, my Facebook, and my TikTok. I have way more followers on those than the YouTube, and I've been on the YouTube for going on 3 years now. I've been reading professionally for 5 years, going on 6 this September. But my thing is, I want to just reach out and talk to you guys, because you guys comment on those instead of commenting on here. So I'm going to answer the comments that I get from all the social sites, and I'm going to do it on here, and I'm going to repost this on all the social sites. So with that being said, I wanted to say I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with us, who've been buying dogs, and that's why I wanted to react on some of the comments and started to do it. Because some of the comments weren't good when I started. Everybody wanted to know why I started the way I started instead of just buying a big name brand dog. Because I wanted to explain to my family, because we are a family business, that when you're doing the dogs and stuff like that, you shouldn't believe all the hype and everything like that, because these breeders that you buy the dog from, they don't know everything in the blood sometimes. They don't have the same professionalism that I bring to the table when I'm doing business. And that's one of the questions that was asked to me. How come I don't purchase one of the dogs from one of the other YouTubers and things like that? I was setting up something to where when I have a dog that's ready to bring to the world, that I would specialize that one dog to the YouTube family, or as we say in the house, the U-Hood. Because I look at it like we all been out here and we all in it for longevity. But for you new breeders, if you can't get most of this stuff down, you're not going to be able to last. And it's only in longevity that these dogs last. So when you buy a dog, it's like a 10-year plus commitment. So if you invest in one of my dogs, you got to be able to take care of that dog for at least 10 years plus. You know what I mean? Because we know the life expectancy. We just haven't reached a dog that's been, let's say, 14, 15, 16 years old. Trappy's the only one that's, yes, Trappy's still alive. We just don't own him anymore. But he's the oldest dog. And instead of saying Trappy's line, I used the female, which is Rennie, because she was a runt. And everybody told me, no, you can't do this and that with the runt. And genetic tester, we did a lot, between Rennie and Nova. Because everybody knows Nova was one of my best females off of Rennie's first litter. But outside of her, there was one other female that was Nina, and Gunplay Kennels owned her. But she's produced at least 4 litters. She's the only female that we have that has produced 4 litters, and she's about 3 that do different things and use differently. Nova only produced 1 litter, and it wasn't really a lot of what I really wanted, but I kind of like really wanted to just focus on the bloodline and shrinking everything and working on my line breeding. But a lot of things happen, so that's why you got to do what you got to do. Other dogs turn shine up like Gunner, Ghost. So Rennie, Gunner, Ghost, and Sky are service dogs. Rennie, Gunner, and Ghost, that's 3 generations of service dog from my direct main line. So that's why I say, another question was, why do you make dogs into service dogs? Why do you have so many? Well, Sky is my direct service dog that I've been training for the last year. And Rennie, I trained, was the very first dog. And if everybody know a little bit of my pedigree, that's like 4 generations back. And Ghost is my 4th generation. So that's why I say certain dogs I use for certain things. Ghost was used as a protection dog for my son. Rennie was used as a protection dog and service dog for the family. I wanted Rennie to be able to walk to the bus stop with the kids and come back, and nobody said it could be done. I intended on walking with them, and I just walked no leash with Rennie just to do it. But can Rennie do it? Yes, she could. Is Rennie a protection dog? Yes, she is, despite her size. But see, that's the thing. When a service dog is not meant to be an aggressive dog. A service dog is meant to be something specific to cater to that human or family based off of what they've been trained for. So that's what really answered it. I hope that really answered your question. And I'm going off the top of my head because I had only a few that I would go over. Another one would be, why did I use Rennie as a starting point? Because I read when I was younger, I was dealing with I like horses when I lived in the city. I'm from New Jersey, but I live in Georgia now. So, being in Georgia, seeing people walk, ride, and go up and down the street with horses, and they like me and you wearing Jordans, fitted caps, and everything, it just looked a little out of place to me. You know what I mean? But I just looked at it as that's freedom, like, you know what I mean, to be able to have the extension to do more of what you would like to do and not have any boundaries. You get what I'm saying? That's freedom to me. And I have a lot of freedom, more now than I've ever had in the last decade. So that I'm blessed to be able to do that. But like I said, back to the question, it's this thing called I'm sorry, I'm having a blank right now because this sun is killing me. Where you breed to better the dogs based off female, not by male. So that's why you don't see a whole bunch of males on my yard, because the males that I use are the males that I've produced. And I think that's more valuable than dogs that you just randomly purchase. But I don't knock no one. I just tell them the facts as it is. I breed my females to some great males so that I get great males and females. It's no secret. Actually, that is a secret. But it's not a secret to where if you pay attention to other things that be bred, like the very first thing that was domesticated was the horse, I believe, because it helped move a lot of things moving forward. And look at where we are today. You say, how many horsepower your car has based off horses. So, like I said, the breeding of the horses are way astronomical compared to the breeds that we breed. So I just studied some of the breeding that they use for horses, and I learned that breeding to maternal dogs as versus to paternal dogs, which are males versus females versus males, you get better quality and better consistency. And I heard today, I don't know when it was posted, but what's his name? Eastside Exotic, shout out. I've been watching you guys for a little bit. I see how you guys do, but I like the setup. You know, they do good work, and that's another one of the questions. Why don't I breed with other YouTubers? There's a part two to that, because this is one thing that really does bother me. When you start meeting, because I've been in the game for a while now, and I've met a lot of different high quality breeders. When you meet these breeders, they are not as professional as you would think they are. Just because they sell these, well, they tell you they sell these high priced dogs, and they don't have any issues and things like that, but they do. Everybody has some form of interaction with somebody, and it went sour some way, and that was because of the lack of professionalism one might bring to the table and the other doesn't, when it's supposed to be a mutual professionalism. If I sell you a dog and the dog, no pun intended with the Albert Einstein thing, because I do know homo, but it's just you got to actually be there to see it, and it's not no problem with shipping the semen and things like that. But growing up, I always learned, and my uncles and my family taught me to, when you breed to a dog, you gotta invest in it. And if you invest in it, that means you're gonna spend whatever they're asking for the stuffing. So if that's the case, then you go visit the dog, see how they take care of the dog. Which I know Omar, the Exotic Crew and Queen City Bullies, and the newer guy, Pure Quality Canines. I'm a dog man overall. I like all dogs. I grew up watching Discovery Channel and the Westchester Minister and things like that, and imagining that I could one day do that, and it wasn't in my thought process of being able to do that. I never thought that I would be breeding dogs, doing dogs, even though I love dogs as much as I do. I did back in the day, but it's just now this freedom that I have, that I'm having my own children and they're asking me questions. That's why I've been doing and studying and doing a lot to prove to my kids it don't matter your age. You can pretty much go back to school and do what you want. But I digress. Back to the questions from the TikTok. Why do you cut the ears? Well, we cut the ears because it's a professional look in the show ring. And yes, I want to go to the show, so I'm breeding to go to the show. But my thing was, I was just starting out breeding my own bloodline, and I know what type of competition, because of growing up watching. These dogs are starting off at 6 months to 4 years old showing. You gotta understand, when you're trying to get into it and show your dogs, Oh yeah, you're gonna have some real major competition that you think, like everybody says, oh, I don't, well, let me rephrase. Growing up, I learned a lot of the older breeders, they felt like they was producing show dogs. And yes, I did see better dogs in some of my neighbors' backyard than in the show ring. But what did it matter if you can't go and confirm? That's what I want, confirmation. So the exotics are new. I'm just learning, because I've been studying the registries and which registry I want to put as a third or fourth collected to what I breed from, because my dogs are UKC and ABKC registered. All the dogs that made breed type from my direct line transferred over from UKC to ABKC, one of which everybody thought didn't have it, Gunner, and then Ghost. A lot of dogs didn't make it. Only had 2 females, their pet home. So it's really not, on the level of holding the line, because you need these dogs that make the breed type and have the right confirmation to show. And unfortunately, I don't know, Ghost he just turned, I'm about to be 2 soon, and he still doesn't seem to be like he's okay with other people touching him, when I've let him be touched by children and like other children and things like that. But I don't know, they're a lot more intuitive to temperament, and that's because of Rennie and Trappy. Trappy is like the happiest dog I've ever seen or ever owned. And then Rennie's mom, Juju, my boy Zed he the one that owned both, and I got Trappy from him. So it was just like I said, the whole thing, Trappy, Juju, they weren't mine at first, and then Trappy became mine, and then Rennie came, and I liked the run. That's just what it was. And then when doing the breedings and coming up with, having everything try to be consistent, it didn't happen within the first 3 generations. I just had one dog within 2 generations, 3 generations, that each litter I got, out of a litter of like 10 average. So that's why I said, it's frustrating when you're trying to produce something and get something together, but it's the journey and my family learning. Because yeah, I could have just purchased a hot stud or a hot female and got to it, but my family wouldn't have known what I was doing, and it'd be like an extra expense. But my family invested just like I'm invested. But again, back to the questions. Cutting the ears make the dog looks better in public. Even for selling purposes, they don't want to get the ears cut. They don't have the money to get the ears cut sometimes, as an extra fee, So I say, hey, give me a deposit, I won't cut the ears. Everybody say they will, nobody does, so I do. You can't wait on everyone. That's why I haven't been going to any shows or did anything, because I've been just trying to get my dogs temperament ready, because the exotic dogs, I noticed they deal with anxiety, and if they ain't never been in a vehicle or been around a lot of people, they can go through that, because a lot of humans go through anxiety. It's just a matter of coping and getting everything together. But like I said, man, it's really like how you take care of your dogs. And all the way to Trappy, you're talking about the temperament is wonderful. Everybody says how wonderful my dogs are. But like I said, Ghost, he's not that typical dog. He allow you to touch and pet him and all of that, but at the same time, he can change, and I don't use him like that for shows, but a lot of people like him, so that's why his breedings will be now moving forward based off of waiting list, because we know the dogs that I use and everything like that. Like he has a black tri-merle he'll be breeding to soon, um, that I purchased for him for graduating, going to high school. So like I said, it's really moving forward, doing something that really focuses and bases on what you want, for your line, and then you do stuff for the people. Certain dogs I will have for the people, certain dogs I will use for YouTube, and certain dogs I will use for show. That's just, I feel like, is a well balanced. Just like, the meals. If you're feeding raw, gotta be well balanced. It gotta have fruits, vegetables, meat, protein, so and calcium and different things like that. But like I said, I'm gonna do one more question, and that was, why aren't I showing? Now that I have some dogs worth showing. Like I said, it's based off the temperament. Some of them aren't ready to be around others, and then some are. So I will be going to dog shows soon, because I have one. Hazelnut is the one that's ready. I might use to be shown, but I can't really grasp on it. I gotta test it out with people, because some of my dogs, they like to act like they want to be aggressive with the little short ones, and then when they get around people, they let them pet them. So it's, I think I still need a little bit more work on them. That's why I haven't been bringing them out. Hazel, Kit Kat, Sky, and Sky, she's like, turned into an alpha female after purchasing her. So I have to change the different temperament that she has now to being around others, because she's really, really close to me. So as I say, temperament really, really, really is key, and you need to really pay attention to your dogs. Last but not least, I'll answer one more question. Why don't I show more training videos? Well, I feel like it's an inside thing that is constant. It's a consult, and for consultations I charge $50, because I can talk all day about dogs. But if you want something specific, it'd be like what my plan would be for you and your dog, because every dog is different. You can't judge and give the same regimen for every dog, because every dog, just like people, are different. They're built different. They handle it different. Some can't handle pressure. Some can thrive under pressure. So that's why I said, creating an ace, or creating a main dame, that's just foundational. You know what I mean? And it takes time to do that. Where I did it in a shorter time, but I just started making the breedings more strategic to match what I was doing. And I learned I couldn't create the XL the way I wanted. So with the whole issue going on with the ABKC and the XLs, I decided to just go small. That's why I breed exotics in my and pockets and standards now. But my family does the standards. I do the pockets and exotics. I'm just, we're all co-workers. But like I said, those are the things why I haven't done the transparent thing of showing that, and I apologize for that, but it will be coming soon moving forward. And I want you guys to know that I'm doing this for everyone and myself, and that's why I want it to be clear cut, undeniable, and try to make it as perfect as possible. But I thank you guys, man, for sticking with me and listening with me. Sorry I ain't got no dogs to show you right now, but when I get home, I will stack them up. We're gonna go stack for stack, me and my son, and we're gonna see what y'all think, who you like better, pocket versus standard, pocket versus exotic. We're gonna play a good little game, but that'll be later. Y'all stay tuned, man, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.